finished watching the South Africa versus Wales match at Twickenham. It was really a great game. The final ended up being 41-13, South Africa being the victor. But I feel that the scoreline doesn't necessarily tell the entire picture of the story. I say that because I feel that Wales did an exceptional job today. It looks like a blowout, and that's just because South Africa pulled away in the latter part of that second half. But I feel that the young Welsh side, excuse me, did an incredible job executing their game plan, playing strong defense, creating penalties, turnovers, and there were little lapses in judgment, mishandles that happened to them. But I think they did a surprisingly great job, basically comparing to what I thought was going to happen. When you see them coming against such a strong South African side, which is a team that is a complete unit. They're just a well-oiled machine, and what I call a plug-and-play system. They didn't have all the normal names like Asiya Khaleesi playing today, and they had newer up-and-coming Springboks like Edwil van der Merwe. You had Fossey playing incredible game and debut by him, I have to say. But they have a plug-and-play system to where it's almost like the next man up. There's so much depth and talent from that South African pool that you expect them to be a strong and powerful side. And then playing against a younger Welsh side, I thought coming into it that Welsh was going to be overpowered and dominated and sort of fold under that pressure, but they were going to be able to get that good experience playing a tough and well-experienced South African side. But it surprised me. Wales did an exceptional job and started off with a faster pace than I'm used to seeing them play. And I say that because during Six Nations this past year, Wales was a slow starting team. Their first half was usually slow paced, slow start. They looked like they were lagging, not really executing a game plan, creating a lot of mistakes and having a lot of lapses in judgment. But today it was counter. Their first half started off fast. They looked like they had a well-executed game plan. They were doing the right things. They had a few mishandles and knock-ons and lapse in judgments and like that. But overall, I felt like they had a very strong showing in the first half. And they even went into halftime behind 1 point, 13-14, South Africa being ahead of them. And that was exceptional. I love seeing a tightly contested match, especially when going into the match, you think that Wales is going to get completely blown out by like 100 to something because they're not as experienced as South Africa, right? But they did an exceptional job. And when I saw Six Nations this past year, Wales usually started, kicking on the gear at that 60th minute of the second half is when they finally looked like they started getting their feet under them and started creating that pace. But today was just so cool to see that they did it, and especially from a youthful side of Wales. And there's a lot of names that, I've never seen or haven't been exposed to at this point, but I feel like they did an exceptional job against a strong South African team. And looking at the South African team, I felt that they started off pretty sluggish. They looked a little bit rusty at the beginning stages, like they just weren't completely there. And that makes sense. This is why you have these test matches, right? To get the wheel spinning again, to knock off the dust, to get things rolling. And I'm talking about that for both South Africa and Wales. It's just to introduce the team and build that cohesion and that experience together again. And what I liked about South Africa is that they had the young bucks step up, man. The young bucks really stepped up. South Africa had a hot start. You had Mapimpi scoring the first try, then you had Jesse Qrew score the second try, and so you had the more senior players stepping up early in the match. But the young bucks, man, Fossey, Edwil, these are guys that we saw on Die Hard's video as the up-and-coming Springboks, and they far surpassed my expectation, had incredible debuts. Fossey had an amazing debut. Grant Williams had a chance to step in later in the match. And these guys really made a name for themselves and put their name on the table for getting a starting spot on the Boks team, right? With so much depth in that South African roster and country, they really stood out to me today. And Sasha was the schoolboy that we checked out earlier, that we released a video this week on, who had that amazing crossfield kick where he had that nice little gallop, that swag gallop to himself. He had just a lot of presence and class, confidence when he kicked that cross kick when we saw him playing schoolboy rugby. And you fast forward till today, a 51-meter kick straight through the post, had meters to give on that one, mind-blowing accuracy, mind-blowing power. And I look at him, you know, you look at Andre Pollard, you look at Libbok, Manny Libbok, who are the known kickers on the team. Sasha, he might be that guy, an 87.5% kicking accuracy. Man, the power in his leg, the confidence that he had looked exceptional, right? And it was a fun match to watch. It was very competitive throughout. Wales and South Africa were going back and forth, and then, you know, like we said, going into the half, 14-13, South Africa was leading, but it was a tightly contested match. South Africa started to pull away and sort of break down Wales at the latter part of the game. The scrum, the powerful South African scrum was dominating Wales. Wales started making a lot of mistakes, a lot of mental lapses near the 60-minute mark, where they weren't taking advantage of the opportunities that they had. There were a lot of times where they had breakaways and you know, chances to score, but they left points on the field. And that's the part. Like, they're a young team, they're growing. That's why you have these test matches and get that experience and get that unity up there. So there were definitely points left on the field, but overall I feel that Wales did a great job in stepping up and really showing the talent that they have and executing against their game plan. You know, it got rough, I think, looking at the score line, but I feel that Wales did an exceptional job. South Africa is a tough team. They've played a lot of matches. Well, because what were the stats? Eben Etzebeth, 119 caps compared to the entire Welsh team having 118 caps. One man had more caps than an entire team, the Wales team. That's exceptional. And I know there was a last-minute sub where there was 120 caps for Wales over Eben's 119 caps, but that just speaks to the youth of the Welsh side. And I think it's very promising with the direction they're heading. I know there's a lot of controversy with Warren Gatland, and there was a last-minute shakeup where, and forgive me, I cannot think of his name. He left the team because he felt like he was disrespected by Warren Gatland. So I'm interested to dive a little bit more into what was happening there. But they did a great job in showing up and really making a presence on the field and not getting overpowered and dominated. They made it a tighter match than a lot of us thought it would be. But South Africa did as expected, right? They showed their strength in the second half, especially. They looked like they knocked the dust off of them, and they started gelling as a unit, and the young players step up. Like I have up here, Mapimpi's the guy's a legend, right? He had a strong game. Starting off the match with a try. He had a try later in the game. I think he had 2 tries in this match, and correct me if I'm wrong. And then Afalele Fasi, exceptional, right? Man, this kid is a bright talent. We're gonna hear a lot about him, right? All around had an exceptional game. Defensively, from the attacking side, he played a very well-rounded game for a young man. Looked like he was confident. He showed incredible pace. He showed amazing IQ, and I just have to clap him up, man. Just to be that young, playing his debut. No, I think it was his debut. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. He stepped up to the plate and showed that he deserves a starting spot on the Boks, right? Amazing talent. And another one that I have to highlight from South Africa, Edwill van der Merwe. Exceptional game that he had. Well, at first I have to say, you know, I love aesthetics, right? The white scrum cap, the yellow boots, the swag, or as we say in America, the drip was on point, man. Seeing his style on the field, incredible. Not only did he look good, he played even better. Player of the match, well deserved. He did an exceptional job today, and I'm very happy to see him produce and have the quality game that he had today. He's one of the players that I was exposed to thanks to Die Hard Rugby, where he referenced the up-and-coming future Boks. Evan Roos, great job today. Powerful man. Strong runner, very aggressive. He enforces his will upon you. Very strong runner, powerful, and just has a nose for the game. I see him being a captain of the team. He played great. Pierre-Steph du Toit, I mean, my lord, that guy, a legend. Captain of the Boks today. Exceptional job as always. A very strong tackler. He played a great game today. Excuse me. But the young Boks are the ones that really just make me smile, because it's just cool seeing young players get their spotlight and step into their spotlight, step into their greatness. And I feel that's what Fossey did, Edwin van der Merwe. Evan Ruiz did exceptional, and it was cool to see the young Boks develop and get their caps in this game and do a great job. Overall, I really enjoyed the match. I feel that Wales showed a lot of promise. They showed a lot of grit, a lot of tenacity, very strong defense, great tackles on their side, and the Boks did as the Boks do. They overpowered at the end of the day. They didn't look as cohesive. They didn't look as gelled today. And, you know, it's their first international match of the summer. It makes sense. They're getting used to one another. They're getting the blood flowing again for international test. But I feel that both teams did an exceptional job and showed up and made it very entertaining from beginning to end. And I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to checking out more test matches this summer. I know the Barbarians play Fiji today. I know the Bulls play Glasgow today. And I want to cover those matches and watch those later on and do some more reviews on that one, Qrew. But I want to hear your thoughts on today's game from South Africa and Wales. Did you enjoy it? And who was your player of the match? For me, Edwin van der Merwe, of course. He won the player of the match. I thought he was exceptional. Afalele Fossey, exceptional. Evan Ruiz, exceptional. And I think Wales did an incredible job as well. Both teams should be very proud of themselves for the showcase that they put on today. They showed a very great game of test rugby, and it's promising to see as we're going to the autumn games. And it's just going to get cleaner. It's going to get faster, and these players are going to get more experienced as we go forward, as the summer and autumn come down the pike, Qrew. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you for all your love and support. Connect with you in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on today's game and the games from this weekend. And I'll also have to check out England versus Japan as well, Qrew. I heard that game was great, and then Marcus Smith went off, I heard. I'm going to look at the highlights. Qrew, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here as always. In our descriptions below, be sure to drop into our Discord and connect with me offline and the entire rugby crew in QSN. Share pictures, videos, have a chat about life and rugby. I'm looking forward to seeing you in there. A link to our Discord is in our descriptions. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for all of your incredible positivity, love, and support. And we will catch you on the next video and live streams upcoming. Always stay laser focused on your dreams and your vision. And remember that you're in control. Love you. Peace.